Gotta give her the big girl seatbelt so I don't pizzle in me chinos. Today we're gonna head down to Phillip Island to film some Kumho cars.
Right place?
Right place. Look at that. I like it. Fuck! Talk about the things you do for the vlog. Here I'm burning the pancakes, setting the fire alarm off. I get it! Stop! Yo, beauty! Look at that. Killed it. Woo! Righto, so we're just on the way to Phillip Island. Before I'm with Dan. Dan Coates Photography. Later on, when we get out of traffic and on the road that goes fast, the highway thingo, I'll answer the questions that everyone submitted onto my Instagram last night. Sure ain't done it this way. You don't need another pretty boy singing pretty songs. Think country boys. I feel like I need like boots and jeans and like a cowboy hat to sing this song. Oh, I got the bus and the band and a one-night stand. So it's no secret that I was a pretty huge fan of the sport before I got involved in it professionally. I initially started volunteering as a pit lane official. So after that, I volunteered for Supercars Media as a runner. And that was just like ironing shirts of the presenters, taking lunch to the commentators and all that sort of stuff. And from there, I worked at an AusX Open event and met Sally from GRM. And then she slid into my DMs and asked if I'd be interested in doing something with the team. We weren't quite sure what that was yet. And Come Adelaide just kind of flourished into a videography role. With the introduction of Boost this year, I've taken more to social media as well. So obviously for them, their social media presence is huge. So we've moved a little bit away, obviously still doing videos, but just not as video centric in terms of me using my equipment. Like phone interviews with the boys straight after a race, and social media content needs to be top notch. So that's what I focus on this year. So depending on what race weekend we're at, my main thing is Gary Rogers Motorsport or Boost Mobile. So from graphic design, like creating the time sheets and things like that, filming the boys getting in the cars, out of the cars, interviews, things like that. And then I also help out with Mark Winterbottom's social media. So I help Mark in running his social and making sure that we get the results posts up on time and making sure that we inform the fans in the best way possible. And depending on the event, I also do a fair bit of support category work. So I film for Reece Chapman in Aussie Cars. Whenever there's Super 2, I have Mason and Dylan in Super 2. There's a few others in different categories depending on what categories it is at each event. I also do Porsche, so wall racing in Porsche. So I keep myself pretty busy on race weekends. It's always good fun and you got to earn the money somehow. You don't want to crash because then no one would see the vlog. But it was a lot of volunteer work. I'm a big believer in volunteering to show that you're passionate. There's obviously a certain point that you do it to before you start getting taken advantage of, but I was lucky enough to get a break after my 3rd year of volunteering and actually started making some good money. So it's a hard slog, but if it's something that you want to do, you don't just get given jobs in supercars. So if you're passionate, get your name out there, networking is the biggest thing that I could tell anyone to do. Once you know people, just makes your life so much easier. The people that I met while working for Supercars Media, it just made my life so much easier. Well, when I got a job to actually work, I already knew everyone in the Supercars Media. And yeah, I had a good group of friends that I knew every time that we travelled away. So, I mean, obviously you have to be good at what you do and you have to make good content that people actually want to use. So the hardest part, just juggling it all. I'm at uni just like anyone else and travelling away for 5 days of a week, usually from a Thursday to a Monday to somewhere around Australia or New Zealand. So it's a big commitment, but luckily we only have 15 rounds a year, so there's a bit of downtime. But I mean, this is my job, this is my full-time job, so I need to earn enough money to keep myself living. I don't have a part-time job, so I need to pick up work when we're not at Supercars. But yeah, it's not that bad. I've got used to it. Actually got really sick after the Townsville round last year because I was just exhausted. I had put so much pressure on myself to do such a good job that I just got very overwhelmed and sick. So I've learned how to balance it better. Less drinking, less getting drunk and partying is always a way to not get sick and to be less tired. So I do social media management, videography, graphic design, and I'm dabbling in photography. I'm not very good. I just learned from Dan the man on the camera here. My job is great. I'm very lucky lucky to be able to do what I do because not many people get to do it. I love the grind and the hustle. I know that's real cliche, but traveling's really cool too. Get to see some cool places. Not that we see much more than a racetrack, but yeah, I love the travel. I love the little supercars family that like we see everyone so often that like everyone lives in all different parts of Australia, but you still become friends and things like that. And TV binging. I do love a good Netflix or Stan series. Currently watching Wizards of Waverly Place at the minute. Oh, and Packed to the Rafters. But other than that, I go to the gym nearly every day. I'm not really good at anything else. I kind of put all my eggs in one basket with this supercars videography thing. So it's a very self-conceited job. It's not like I save lives or anything like that. When people like what you do and like the content that you make. So I really like meaningful content that people enjoy to watch and that can entertain them. So the most rewarding part is putting a lot of effort into a video and then having someone say that they like it or they enjoy it. And yeah, it's pretty rewarding too. My parents are pretty proud of me. They tell me all the time. If you ever camp next to my dad at Bathurst, within about half an hour of you pulling up, he'll tell you that I work for a race team. So can you imagine 60-year-old me getting around trying to film a supercar? I struggle. Like, I trip over nothing at 20. Like, by then I'd love to own my own production company and just be the big old boss lady and delegate what everyone else does, and I hope so. It would be cool. I really enjoy what I do, but in terms of the longevity of how long I can do it, I think I'll just do it until some people stop paying me to do it. So I'm currently in the planning stages of a trip to America, so that would be cool. I want to go over at the end of this year after the Newcastle round and explore some business opportunities over there. Ideally in 2020, the later half of 2020, I'd like to go over there and film some motocross outdoors. But yeah, I definitely think it's something that I can take overseas. I will just play it by ear and see what happens. I'm really happy in supercars at the minute, but we'll just see what pops up in the future. You can't beat Bathurst. Everyone says Bathurst, but it's just a cool place. Bathurst. But event-wise, I really like Townsville and Darwin. They're great fun. And Gold Coast, because after party. I'm just going to stick to the OG 2013 Bathurst winners of Mark Winterbottom and Stephen Richards. So my job puts a little bit of pressure on me, and then I'm like, more pressure. Do a better job than what you should do. So that was a lot of questions, but that's okay. I made it! Butterfly Fly Away by Miley Cyrus probably isn't the biggest pump-up music that we've got in the world. Oh! My bladder is full as a goog. I tell you what, this seatbelt. Gotta give it the big girl seatbelt so I don't pizzle in me chinos. Is it true that Priya Richards is a bad bitch? Priya Richards is the baddest bitch that I've ever met.